County Court of Law number 1 is an all criminal court. May I have a seat? Oh, she's posing again.
Sorry.
All right. Have a seat. Our candidates are John Hafley and Brian Cain. Mr. Hafley will begin with his opening statement.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir. We're ready.
Well, good evening. My name is John Hafley, and I'm running for judge at County Court of Law number 1. Something that's really important about this race is Brian and I were friends before this race started. We have become better friends as this race goes along, and when we're done, we're going to be friends still. So we get that out of the way. I am a Christian first, conservative second, Republican third, and I've been married to my wife Dina for 25 years, and she too is a Christian first, conservative second, and Republican third. And we have 2 wonderful kids who are currently attending 2 rival SEC schools at Ole Miss and Texas A&M. I was expecting some whoops.
Yes, I'll listen.
So, I'm a former police officer, former prosecutor. I now own my own law firm. Those are the unique qualities that I bring to this court. We're going to talk more about it in a second. You can go to my website, hafleyforjudge.com. I'm John Hafley, and I'm asking for your vote. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Cain.
Good evening. I want to thank the Montgomery County Republican Women's Group for having this, for having us have a chance to talk with y'all, and obviously for your advocacy for all our shared values and actions. My name is Brian Cain. I'm running for Judge County Court of Law number 1 as a criminal court, one of the 3 criminal misdemeanor courts in this county. A little bit about me. I'm a 4th-generation Texan, native to the Houston area. I grew up in Fort Bend County. I got here as soon as I could. I got here when we wanted to settle down and have children because my wife is from the Woodlands, and that's where my in-laws live now. I'm a partner at Griffin and Cain, which is a general litigation firm located in downtown Conroe. And Monday through Friday, you're going to find me in a courtroom. On a Sunday morning, you're going to find me singing in the choir at Trinity Episcopal Church in the Woodlands. And I have 9 seconds left. So visit my website for the rest of the story, briancain.org, and here we go.
Hey, Mr. Hafley, and I said Hafley earlier. What specific skills, knowledge, and law experience do you have that can bring you to the table as a best judge in a criminal court of law?
All right, so as I stated before, I'm a former police officer. For 8 years, I wore the uniform as a law enforcement officer, and I swore to the Constitution that I would protect and defend. I worked night shifts, I worked holidays, I worked weekends, dedicated my life for 8 years to protecting the citizens of this county. Or to this state, I apologize. After that, I became a prosecutor, where I was promoted to the chief of a felony court after 1 year. I now own my own law firm. So I've arrested criminals, I've prosecuted criminals, and I've defended criminals. So I have a full spectrum of the criminal justice system. I also have served in the United States Army and Army Reserve for 30 plus years. 8 years on active duty, and the remainder in the reserves. And 2 years ago, I was promoted to Brigadier General in the United States Army Reserve, and I currently serve as a division commander. I have commanded at the company level, I've commanded at the battalion level, commanded at the brigade level, and now command at the division level. So why is this important? Leadership matters, and experience matters. A judge is an elected official who is going to lead people through the worst times of their life, and I have done that. I have led 3,500 soldiers as a brigade commander, and I've led 1,800 soldiers in combat. Experience also matters. I told you my wide range in the criminal justice field, and that is unique to this position. So for those 2 reasons, and the reasons I explained, that's why I'm asking for your vote, because those are the qualities that I bring to this bench: leadership and experience. Thank you.
Mr. Cain, same question.
As I mentioned, I am a partner at a general litigation firm, so we do not specialize. I handle quite a number of criminal cases and have for a long time. My partner was a retired prosecutor, made me a partner after 6 months working with him on all of the matters that we currently handle. I have a large number of family cases I handle, as well as probate, estate planning, business litigation, and winding down a business right now, and some other matters that I could prattle on about. The reason that I'm running is I know that that experience in the entire legal ecosystem allows me to see how other cases get affected by a decision by any court in any particular matter. As an example, I've had a situation arise where I was representing a woman whose husband, now ex-husband, is an alcoholic, but the DWI that was to be prosecuted against him did not occur in a timely manner, and then it actually then got dropped. This is in a different county, which kind of leads me to something I want to talk about in a second. But that experience showed me how a judge in one court can definitely negatively affect a client, a person, a litigant's experience in another court. And I've seen that multiple other occasions. Now, what I was trying to get to here is, I'm running in Montgomery County because I have great pride in the courts that we have, and great pride in these are my courts. When people come to town and ask me, what do you think of a particular judge, I can say truthfully that I enjoy the experience and I enjoy practicing here primarily. I do get out of this county quite a bit. I've practiced in 55 counties across the state and 15 counties, and I have seen courts that are slow, don't act at all, don't show up, and I've seen how that negatively affects the people of those counties. And these are the reasons I'm running. Thank you.
Okay. The next question. Ready? Jail overcrowding is a challenge facing our criminal justice system. And I looked about 3 weeks ago, and there were over 700 people in the Montgomery County Jail, I think. And one had been in there for quite a long period of time. So how can you help address jail overcrowding as a criminal judge without impacting the safety of the public?
I'll tell you one thing I'm not going to do is when somebody's asking for a PR bond and I have a hint of a history presented to me that there's violence in their history, that I'm not going to give them a PR bond. Can't be done now. Legislature has acted in that regard on a current charge, but you still need to look to a defendant's history. 700 people in our jail is actually not quite a lot. It's capacities in the range of, I think, 1,400. So 700 is a good number for us. And I think that number has gotten there because of current events. So we can get back to a higher number, and that's not currently a problem. The courts are moving at a good pace right now. We have a challenge coming. And it's not a test necessarily, but our courts need to get faster as the growth of this county continues. And that's how you meet the problems of infrastructure in general, is what you're talking about. Our courthouse, one of the candidates mentioned it earlier, the courthouse is reaching capacity. We've got another court coming online here shortly, and not necessarily a straightforward place to put that court. If another court is necessary, there's going to be problems where we're going to put that court. So the way that every judge moving forward can handle that is, quite simply, have a lot of trials, or at least a lot of trial settings. If you have a lot of trial settings, defendants all of a sudden who are saying they want a trial, well, lo and behold, I'm going to plead guilty. I'm going to get this over with. If you have a lot of trials, you can get people moving through the courts. At the misdemeanor level, a majority of people are going to get probation, where we can get them help if they're alcoholic, we can get them help if they've had problems with family violence, and we can get them help in general. And that's how you meet the demands of a growing county and limited infrastructure, is you do your job. You show up at 8, you leave after 5, and you're there 5 days a week. You come in on weekends and get your administrative stuff done if you need to.
Mr. Hafley.
All right, so I agree that the jail is not as crowded. Those are pretty decent numbers. So I agree with a lot with what Brian just said. So you have to, when you take charge of this court, when I take charge of this court, we're going to have scheduling orders set. So a defendant's going to come into the court and they're going to be arraigned. They're going to have their first pretrial, their second pretrial / docket / motion docket, and then they're going to have their docket call, and finally the trial date, and that's going to be preset. Now what does that do? That holds the feet to the fire of both the prosecutor and the defendant. So that's going to help speed up the process. It's going to be laid out. Additionally, like Brian said, we're going to have more trials. We're going to try these cases at a rapid level. The disposition rate in this court is the best of the 3 criminal misdemeanor courts right now. So in the first 90 days, I'm going to make an assessment to see if there's anything that really needs to be changed. If it's having a great disposition rate that it has now, maybe it doesn't need to have any changes. But as we know, the population is going to grow in this county. So we're going to have to move more criminals through the system. Additionally, we are going to have more trials as these cases grow. And that's how you move cases. So those are the plans that I have in place that we need to do to address these issues that we're talking about. Now, for misdemeanors, if somebody's in jail on a misdemeanor, they go straight to the top of the trial docket. No ifs, ands, or buts. They go to the top of the trial docket because their rights are being infringed upon, and the punishment range is a lot shorter than in a felony case. So you've got to get those incarcerated folks into the courtroom quickly to get their trials, and they'll have precedent over everyone else. So thank you very much.
Okay. And would you like to do your 1-minute summation and tell us why you're going to be this judge? And then we'll let Mr. Cain tell us why he'll be the very best judge of Montgomery County.
Ready? All right. So as I said before, experience matters, leadership matters. If you've ever heard me speak, you've heard me say those 2 things. The experience that I bring to this court across the criminal justice system is unmatched. For 30 years, I have been serving the people of this country in the Army, and for 25 years, I've been serving in the criminal justice system. It's the first job I got out of college as a police officer. So I have served, and I know what it means to serve, and I want to continue to serve. Leadership, it matters. After I left command of my brigade, I immediately got promoted to general officer. Why does that happen? It only happens if the President of the United States has trust in you to lead their troops. I have a top secret clearance. I've been vetted by the government at the highest level. You can trust me to run your court. My name's John Hafley, and I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Mr. Cain, tell us why you think you'll be the very best judge.
Because I know the single word that you need to know to move cases along. Now, that word has 2 letters. We use 6 in the legal system. The word is no. We say deny. But that's the word you need to know. As John opened up, we're friends. A lot of whoever's judge, whoever wins this race, I'm hoping it's me, of course, is going to have friends in front of them. That's going to be from the state. That's going to be from the defense. You got to tell them no. You got to say your motion for continuance is denied. That's how you move cases. And so it really just boils down to that. We don't need to change the structure of our 3 criminal courts. They have a little ecosystem of their own because of the limited space in our courthouse. You just need to set cases for trial and then tell attorneys, on Monday I'm going to have 40 or 50 people like y'all, and we're going to have a trial. I know this. Visit my website, briancain.org. Thank you.
Thank you, John. County Court at Law number 3. It's your turn. And this is Laura Watson and Judge Amy Tucker.